What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of FE, the Fight Exchange. I am joined by my guy, David Jackson. We are talking about UFC 287, but no. We're not breaking it down like usual. We've done that, both of us a couple times. We're talking investments. We want to talk about long-term, short-terms, buying and selling. We are trading these fighters like stocks on prediction strike. David, how you doing today, buddy?
I'm doing great. Thank you for that intro, man. That was beautiful. And yeah, always excited to talk stocks with fighters. It's similar to the betting game, but it's a little different, and there's a lot more options you can explore and exploit. So excited to talk about it.
Absolutely. I can't wait, man. We've got a lot of fights to get to, so don't need to go back and forth too much here on this one. Let's just get this bad boy started. We got to kick the night off with some big time barn burner here. We got Sam Hughes welcoming UFC newcomer Jacqueline Amarim to the octagon, to the cage here, man. And what we've got is my girl, Sam Page, sitting at 92 cents per share. You got to love the respect she's getting there. Amarim, however, is coming in at $1.72. They are expecting big things from this girl. I believe she is 6-0, undefeated, with all round one finishes stepping into the UFC's cage on Saturday. Do you like either of these women from an investable standpoint?
Yeah, no, I do like I like the new girl. She's got, like you said, first round finishes, and for it to be in the women's division too. I mean, really any women's division, a bunch of first round finishes it definitely makes a statement. I think the UFC like that. I like that. It sounds exciting, and I'm excited for the fight. And I mean, her stock's at $1, I think 72. Well above $1.70.
Pretty
I
high price
believe
point.
it's pretty high for. I mean, how new she is in the organization. But I think it's there for a reason. And if you're gonna get in on her, it's right now
Yeah.
before Saturday.
Yeah, and we've talked about it on the show before, man. For the people needing to know, these stock prices, we see them jump when you get finishers, right? If you get a finish, you're worth more, your price goes up, and she is a round one finisher. This girl's a killer. So if you want in $1.72 for your debut, that is pricey, but it's because they're expecting her to jump in value almost immediately. Personally, I love me some Sam Page. That's my girl. I'm a big fan of Sam Hughes. I'm hoping that she's able to pull the upset here. But if she does, I would buy the dip. If Sam Page pulls the upset, I would get on Amarim. Hopefully, that price tag comes down a couple of cents. But she's definitely, I think, the more long-term investable side. As much as I love Sam, I'm not sure UFC Gold is necessarily in her future. So I would expect her to hang around. I think you've got some value on her price tag. She will get above $1. She is capable of finishing. She is getting better. But if we're just talking pure ceiling here for long-term investments, I think Amarim's probably the side.
I think you're correct, and I mean, honestly, you're not alone with the Sam love. There's been a lot of Sam whispers in the universe I've been hearing, and so you're not alone there.
I'm glad I'm not alone. She deserves the respect, man. She deserves the respect. All right,
Absolutely.
everybody. Next fight on the docket here we've got for you Steve Garcia, the mean machine himself, 86 cents, taking on Shayilan Nordenbecky. No fixed fights this time, baby. James Krause is banned from the cage. We're not getting any of that goofiness coming into this one. Similar price tags. What do you think of these fighters and who's got the higher ceiling, man?
Ooh, I like these fighters. I mean, Steve Garcia is solid. I mean, he's pretty well rounded. Man, I don't want to mess his name up. Shai Yilan Nordenbeke, right?
Yep.
Um, I think for me, I think he's a little bit more investable. He's sitting, at 96 cents. He's under $1. Um, I I think he's gonna win this fight. I really don't see long term either of these fighters. Not something that I really am really attracted to necessarily. But if I'm making some short plays and just having fun, I think I'm laying a little change on Shailan at that price, and I think he wins on Saturday as well.
Okay, all right. We've got a little bit of a head-to-head disagreement here, my friend.
Uh-oh,
I
here it
I
comes. First
like the
one.
dog. I'm all about the mean machine, Steve Garcia. Honestly, I think Shayilan is okay. He's a good wrestler. His striking really needs some work. He's got big power. We've seen that before. Uh, But Steve Garcia doesn't give up takedowns, man. He does not give them up easily. And if this thing turns into a striking matchup, I actually think that height and reach advantage for Garcia is going to cause some problems for Shayilan Nordin-Becky. Now, he's always capable of bombing. You know, we've seen Garcia kind of leaves his chin out there sometimes, so that KO punch could always come down the pipe. But I actually think Steve Garcia is the better fighter of the two here. I would be looking to buy on the dog here. And I actually already have a bet on him here for UFC 287 on
Ooh,
Saturday.
spicy. Okay, I respect it. I like the analysis. I'm not mad at it.
I'm not sure who has the higher ceiling for prediction strike, though. Because if we're talking about long-term investable, you know, which one of these guys is going to do more damage? You know, personally, I still think it might be Steve Garcia because of the two, he's more of the finisher. You know, Shailan blew out Derek Minner's knee, but we all know how fake that was. I don't think he's going to finish a lot of people at the UFC level moving forward.
Sure.
Ocho, on the other hand, I think Steve Garcia can put some people in the ground. That's what he's done his entire UFC career. So, just from a pure numbers perspective, I think you might get more long-term return on Garcia.
Do you know their ages?
You know what? I can look that up for you here. I've got my handy dandy toolkit for these fighters. We got Garcia at 30 years old. Shailan's actually only 28, which is surprising. I thought he was a little bit older with all that experience.
Yeah, I kind of did too, actually. I mean, the 28, for me, that makes me a little bit more attracted to the Shailan
Yeah.
prospect. For have that much experience at 28 is kind of wild.
I could see it.
Crazy record.
No kidding. That is a ton of experience for just 28 years old, man. Okay. Well, I think that's one where you kind of pick your poison, man. I don't know. Both of them definitely have some upside. Both of them definitely have a chance to do some damage long term here for you. Your host
Maybe not a major investment in either of these guys.
Yeah.
I mean, something just to have fun, maybe experiment with. Other than that, you can pass it down the line.
That's the way to go. That's the way to go. The next fight we want to talk to you about, though, here is going to be Trey Ogden, a short notice matchup here with Ignacio Bahamondes. Both these guys were slated to fight the last couple cards, had their opponents fall out. So now they're finding themselves matched up with each other. Trey Ogden has had a bit of a rough start in the UFC. Ignacio Bahamondes, though, is the complete opposite. He has absolutely destroyed both of his opponents to third-round finishes back-to-back. I mean, I don't know how much we got to talk about this one, man. For me, it's Bahamondes all day. He's $1.41. Trey Ogden is $1.31. So a little bit surprising the respect he's getting as far as the shares price tag goes. But I'm a Bahamondes guy. I'd be buying on this kid.
I'm a Bahamondes guy. Just on the name alone, it just kind of rolls off the tongue. Ignacio Bahamondes. Like that's, I kind of like it. I mean, it's a cute name. Trey Ogden, I think he's in the fight. I wouldn't count him out of this fight at all, but I'm with you on this one. I think Ignacio is, I think he's a little bit more just kind of marketable. And I think he's just a fun fighter to watch. And, you know, $1.42, I like that price. I'm definitely in on Ignacio.
Yeah, man, we'll keep this one short. That's a quick agreement here from both of us. This kid is going to have a bright future. You asked about the age of the last couple competitors. He's 25. So he's got 2 round 3 finishes in the UFC already, just turned 25. Sky's the limit for this kid. This is one of those hit the alarm button, long-term investment, load up, sit tight, be patient.
We got to get a button on that one. We need a short pass, a long investment, and a no way. We need 3
That's
buttons.
True. That's true. We gotta work on the graphics here for the people. We need something to set the alarm here on these.
100%.
Good call, man. All right, next up we got the ladies. Cynthia Calvillo, $2.02. Lupi Godinez, $1.28. And man, there was a time that we thought Cynthia Calvillo was gonna be something. There was a time
she had the juice.
Yeah, we thought she was going to go places, and I'm surprised her price is even still this high personally. What do you think about this fight?
I honestly, I think, Lupita, I think she takes this fight. I believe she's the cheaper of the price, right?
She is $1.28.
$1.28. Yes, I mean, I feel bad for fading Cynthia like that, but I
I
just
don't.
don't. I don't. I like that. I like that. Trying to keep it classy. You're like, man, screw her.
Yep.
No, I
Just
think
being
she's
honest.
done. I think she's done, and I happily invest in Lupita.
Folks, this is one of those spots where you get a rare situation. The betting line is minus 300 on Lupita Godinez. Over here on Prediction Strike, she is $1.28. Her opponent is priced at $2.02. Lupi is damn near 80 cents cheaper than her opponent, and she is favored 3-1 over her to win this fight. I think Lupi runs away with this one, man. I bet the knockout prop at 8-1. I think Lupi finishes Cynthia Calvillo, and I think we see this number jump. So if we had an alarm graphic for you, I'd be hitting it again.
Yep, let's
Yeah,
go.
because I think this is definitely a spot you want to invest in. Not to mention the caliber of content the UFC is plugging into the Spanish heritage markets, Mexico. Like, she waves that flag. If she gets a big finish here in this spot, they're going to be pushing Lupita Godinez much like they are the other Mexican fighters and champions that are making waves right now.
Could not agree more. That was excellent take. And yeah, go get your money, guys. Just right
Let's
there.
go. Lupita Godinez for the win on Saturday, folks. Pile in. Next up, we have Carl Williams. Nice big old sloppy heavyweight fight coming up here. $1.32, taking on UFC's mainstay, who is getting into he's getting into Sam Alvey territory, man. Like,
He's
Chase
he's
Sherman.
feeder at this point.
Yes.
Feeder. I
Chase,
mean, I'd love
Chase
the
Sherman.
experience on him though.
He's got a ton of experience. Just 67 cents a share. Nice and cheap for Chase Sherman. $1.32 for the UFC newcomer Carl Williams, who's 1-0
Double.
in the UFC. What are you doing here, man?
I honestly, I'm not. I don't want to invest in either of these guys, really. If you were going to, it would be Carl Williams. Like, he's just apparently just grabbing takedowns like they're like it's money, and Chase Sherman is just played out. So I don't like the ceiling for Carl Williams. I don't think he goes super far. So I don't really want to invest in this fight. I'm going to pass on these. If you had to, Carl Williams, I mean, his stock's already, it's kind of up there. I don't see it going too much higher, but there's some value there for sure.
Yeah, I'm in the exact same boat with you here, man. I think this is one we stay away from. Again, I'm a crazy person. I have a bet on Chase Sherman to win the fight on Saturday. He's plus 380, man. Like, I gotta take a shot at those odds
Yeah, at
because
4-1 with that
yeah,
experience,
I'm
go
just not
for it.
impressed with Carl Williams. That's all it comes down to. Long term on Prediction Strike, there's better spots for your money. I don't want to play either of these guys. I don't think Carl Williams is a future champion, and I'm absolutely never long term investing on Chase Sherman. I will short term invest in Chase Sherman, but I think we can leave this one alone from a Prediction Strike standpoint.
Yeah, you don't have to invest in everything, guys. We're here to give you the good investments and the bad when you don't have to invest at all. This one we're
Absolutely.
passing on.
And hey, if you want to get involved and do some investing, make sure you deposit with Prediction Strike. Use promo code FE. Make sure they know the boys sent you over there. And of course, there is every sport under the sun on Prediction Strike. So you don't just have to stick to MMA. If you like your hockey like I do, rocking the Yotes jersey. If you like some baseball, basketball, there are other athletes that you can invest your money in as well. So use promo code FE and jump in over here. Play some Prediction Strike with us, man. Next fight, we want. Oh, that's interesting. Didn't mean to make myself the bell of the ball here on the hit the wrong button. All right, we got Gerald Mearshart. He is welcoming Joe frickin' Pyfer to the UFC, and we've got Joe Pyfer at $1.74 for the hype that this kid has got. That's a cheap price tag. His opponent, $1.26. I'm actually a little bit surprised at how cheap Gerald Mearshart is, considering how long he's been with the organization and how many finishes he has. I kind of would have thought his price tag would be a little bit higher. What do you like here, David?
I agree with you. For some reason, I thought Joe had one actual UFC fight after the Contender Series. Did he not? Is this his first real fight?
I
Real fight?
believe, yeah, quote unquote real fight.
Yeah.
Yes, they got him in there with Alan Amadovsky and he killed him in about 2 minutes.
Yeah.
So this will be his first real fight in the UFC, but he's got one under his belt.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, this one's a little bit interesting. I think the value is for sure on Joe Pyfer. That doesn't mean Gerald Meerschaert can't win this fight. He's like you said, like he pulls off submissions out of his ass, and he's really good at doing that. I think Joe Pyfer is the more explosive dude. He's the new kid on the block. He likes to knock people's lights out, and I think because he's training over there in Philadelphia with Sean Brady. Sean Brady is not going to let this dude get, choked out super easily. Sean Brady's one of the best grapplers in the world. And I think he's going to have his boy nice and right for this fight. So I'm going on the new kid on the block, Joe Pyfer. Boom. That's my investment. Where's my button? Wow.
I like it. I'm right there with you, man. This is a spot, normally speaking, I fade the public. I fade the hype. I do everything I can to bet against people thinking like that, but I believe that Joe Piper's the goods. I think this guy's real. You mentioned I think his grappling is going to be on point for this spot. And Gerald Meerschaert, he's a guy that really ends up losing until he wins, right? We see it time and time again, that comeback round 3 submission when his opponent makes a mistake or gets tired. I don't think Joe is going to make a mistake. I don't think Joe is going to get tired. And so I really think that Gerald Meerschaert is in for a rough night at the office. I would think Joe Pyfer is very investable at $1.74, especially seeing just how much the UFC is pushing him. Going from Alan Amadovsky in your UFC debut to Gerald Meerschaert speaks to the level of confidence that they have in this kid. He's going to be climbing that ladder fast. Get your money. Invest in Joe Pyfer at $1.74.
Also, I mean, he is one of our Prediction Strikes partners. So, I mean, we got to plug our guy, Joe Pyfer.
It doesn't hurt.
Doesn't hurt. If you want to catch him punching and slamming one of our faculty members on Instagram, you can check us out. It's on YouTube as well. Also, nice. I already mentioned, if you don't get a shirt that says "Fade the Public" or "Fade the Hype," I like that shirt for you. I would buy one. Yeah, go Joe Pyfer.
I like it. I'm going to have to hit up a designer and get my logo thrown on a Fade the Hype shirt.
Fade the Hype. Let's go.
I like it, man. I like it. All right. We're getting to the good stuff here. Next fight up, Michelle Waterson Gomez. Got to respect the hyphenated last name. $1.98 for the Karate Hottie. Taking on Luana Pinheiro, who's $1.34. And frankly, man, I think we're getting to that sad, sad time where we just see the sun set on one of the women's pioneers in the Karate Hottie. I just don't think she's going to be around all that much longer. She's done some great things in the sport. I've been highly entertained by her for years, but she's 38 years old now and she's $2, and that's pretty expensive for me, especially on a fighter who I don't expect to be anywhere near the title or finishing anybody, frankly, anytime soon. I'm not the biggest Luana Pinheiro fan, but that's the only side I could suggest people maybe buy on for a long-term shot here. What about you?
Yeah, it's kind of similar to the Cynthia. I mean, obviously I'm a little bit more partial to Waterson, so it's sad to see her go out like this. The last few fights have been rough to watch. I think she was one of the first like female fighters like careers that I was like really following passionately. Not to mention she's a hottie. She's called the Karate Hottie not for no reason.
Exactly.
She's fine. But yeah, I think it's her time. She's got a family, she's got a kid. She's about, she's gonna be 38 in a second. I think this is a sunset on her, so they're definitely not investing in her. I'm probably passing on either of them as far from an investment perspective, but I will be watching and hoping for the Karate Hottie to take one W to the sunset.
Yep. All right. I'm with you there, man. Definitely don't invest in the Karate Hottie. The only thing that number is going to potentially do is go down from here, and she's going to be hanging it up soon. So that's a dead number right there, folks. Stay away. The next fight that we will talk to you about, though, is Kelvin Gastelum on a mission for gold. The man hashtags it in every single thing he posts. $2.75, an Ultimate Fighter winner, taking on my guy, the Action Man, Chris Curtis. You can get Chris Curtis for $1.81. This one's tough for me, man, because this is a pick'em price tag. If you're looking at the betting line, so Kelvin
Yeah.
Gastelum's a decent bit more expensive here on Prediction Strike than Curtis is. Curtis is older. We saw him just get derailed in a higher level title fight, or not title fight, but a higher level main event spot. So you can definitely see a limit to the long-term investment on a fighter like Curtis. But what do we make of Kelvin Gastelum? Is he going up from $2.75? Or is he also sitting at a dead number? What do you think?
I think he's sitting at a dead number. I mean, this guy's been stuck on this weird plateau ever since he lost the Izzy fight. Something just, I don't know what happened there. It went all out of wonk, and he's just not had the best of luck. I do see him getting one or two more W's for sure, but I just think his road back to championship is very long and rocky. So I don't like that price for him right now. I think although Action Man is not a spring chicken, lots of fun fights for him, I think, in the future. And I think there's still some value there. I would make a small investment in Action Man Curtis. That's how I feel about that.
Okay. All right. I like it, man. I hope he gets it done on Saturday. Just from a fan perspective, I really want to see him get his hand raised.
You talking about Chris Curtis or
Chris Curtis?
Okay.
Chris Curtis.
Yeah.
It's my boy. All right.
That's another hard one, though. I feel bad for Kelvin.
For sure, man. For sure. All right. Now we've got some serious talking to do here on this one, man. Woo! I hope you're ready. Raul Rosas Jr., the youngest fighter on the UFC roster, just turned 18. No longer has to have his parents sign the bout agreements in case he gets injured. $1.79 for this high caliber grappler, taking on C-Rod Christian Rodriguez, who is 74 cents. Nice little discounted price here on a young 25-year-old stud. I just got to know, man, what do you think of both of these fighters? Because I think both are very interesting, frankly.
I mean, they are both really interesting. Christian's not a bad fighter. He's good, but I just think Raul is too marketable, and I mean he's 18 years old. I put out something on our Instagram page like, this kid's 18 years old. He could lose a couple fights, get back on track, and still be the youngest champion ever, and be the first champion to not be able to buy his own drink. That is too investable for me to pass up. You got to get in on this kid. This kid is going to be a headline story fighter. I think in the next 2 years, we're going to be seeing his name a lot, and he's going to become a young star. That's what I think.
Okay. Honestly, man, I think both these kids are super investable, and I'm going to do it, man. I need my t-shirt. Fade the hype. I'm betting Christian Rodriguez. I am betting Christian Rodriguez. I just think that there is a certain point that this kid is too young. He's 18 years old. He's looked very impressive. Christian Rodriguez fought JSP, one of Fight Ready's top prospects, on short notice and damn near tapped him out in the third round. So I am all kinds of high on Christian Rodriguez. In fact, I think there are too many people out there that are way too low on Christian Rodriguez. He's just insanely skilled, and I think he's got the tools to go ahead and win this fight. Whether or not he actually can get it done, maybe Raul Rosas Jr. is just legit. Maybe he's just that good, but I'll take the shot on him to go ahead and maybe fumble the bag like an 18-year-old kid might in his first big spot under the bright lights. Prediction Strike, however, if we're talking investment, I like both these guys. Buy the dip. Whoever loses, take a stab on them.
Yes.
Yeah, because I think both of them have a lot of upside. Both of them are finishers. Both of them have that big-time submission upside. We're talking 18. We're talking 25. Get a little bit of both, in my opinion, man. I like them both.
Yeah, man. I'm honestly, I'm a little surprised you're fading this. This might be our side bet for the week. I don't know.
Ooh, a little gentleman's wager here.
Yeah, we'll see after the rest of the card. But I just think with this kid, they're throwing him on pay-per-view already. That I think they want him to win. I don't know who made the match. Christian is good, but he ain't tapping Raul out. That's for sure. The kid's a beast. And yeah, this might be our side wager. We'll see after the rest of the fights.
Okay. Well, I'm down if that's the one we end up going with. I think this is a very interesting fight. I think C-Rod is just getting slept on a little bit, man. And when Raul
That's
Rosas
fair.
Jr. is 24 years old, he's going to be a monster. He's going to be unstoppable.
Oh,
But he's
yeah.
just 18 right now, and that's my thing. I'm like, man, maybe I can just pluck one little L off of him before he turns 20.
Like I said, if this kid loses a couple, get on that chip because it's going back up.
Exactly. That's the way to do it. All right. Next up, you got Kevin Holland, who damn near started a fight at the press conference today, sitting at $1.68. He's a little bit down from where he was, taking on Santiago Ponzinibbio, who's $1.58. Man, this one's pretty easy for me, I'll be honest. I know Kevin Holland is a little untrustworthy. He's a bit up and down. You never really know what you're going to get with the guy, but he's a BJJ black belt. He's got knockout power in all of his limbs, and he's coming off being embarrassed. I think he's going to finish Santiago on Saturday, and I think long-term, you've got the younger fighter with the higher ceiling. It's one-way traffic for me, man. It's all or nothing on the Kevin Holland side this week.
I couldn't agree more. He can be untrustworthy, but he's fun to watch, and he does have that finishing instinct. Santiago Ponzinibbio, he almost lost to I keep forgetting the kid's name. Not Brandon Moreno.
Frankly, he almost got knocked out by Morono.
Morono, that's what I'm thinking.
Alex Morono.
Alex Morono. And who's a good dude, but I thought I wanted him to win that fight just to prove a point. But I don't think Santiago, I think he's just past whatever his successful part of his career was going to be. I think he's past that. Definitely not investable. Definitely more untrustworthy than Kevin Holland. Kevin Holland is fun, and the company likes him, and I like him. So that's where my money's going on this one.
I hear you. I'm in the same boat, man. I think, like I said, one-way traffic. I'm glad we agree on this one. All right. We are moving right along, folks. We got just a couple more fights to talk to you about right here. Rob Font, $2.52, taking on Adrian Yanez, $1.89 on this absolute stud of a kid. Man, I love me some Adrian Yanez. This is a big step up in competition. This is a very stiff test. But again, it's just that changing of the guard, older fighter versus younger fighter. Like, I think I got to buy on the Yanez side, man. What about you?
I'm definitely buying on the Yanez side. This guy can box his eyes out. So can Rob Font. I think this is a case where I'm investing in Yanez, but I'm taking the underdog, if I'm a betting man, which I am. I just think, Yanez is really good. I think people are a little quick to fade Rob Font. That guy's, constantly, he's like at Calvin Cater's side. All those dudes do is box. And you're going to tell me this kid's going to come in and just box his ears off? I don't think so. So I'm leaning him for the bet, but that's why investing is fun because, this would be a case where I could invest in Yanez before, and then when he loses, buy the dip right there.
Yep.
And then because that kid's going to go, I think, a long way in the UFC. He's so good.
I agree. I think Yanez has a very bright future in the UFC. Font, I think we've seen the peak. I think we've kind of seen the height of what he can get to. He's one that I would suggest if you're looking for the upset, maybe look at a betting line rather than a long-term investment for Rob Font. He's 35 years old, I want to say. So, he could be around for another 2 or 3 years, but I'm not sure how much higher that price tag is going to go.
Yep. That's fair.
All right. Next up, we got my guy, Gilbert Burns, Dorino himself. He is taking on fan favorite and BMF title holder, Jorge Masvidal. What do you make of this fight, man? The co-main event has got some massive stakes on it. Some guys that are getting up there towards that title contention. Who do you like here?
Ooh, this one's tough. I like Gilbert Burns to win the fight. I don't like the price on either of these guys.
$4.78
$4.78 on Gilbert. I'm like, man, even if he's the champion, I don't see it going very much over 5. So, I mean, surprisingly, although these are two really big names, I'm probably passing up on investing in either of these guys. Jorge Masvidal, I think, is at the end of his career, especially if he loses this fight. I think that's probably curtains on Jorge Masvidal. But there is room for if there's a little bit of value in the investment world. It would, I think, investing a little change in Masvidal. He gets some crazy knockout, ends up with a championship fight on your hands, and then there could be a little spike in value there. But other than that, Hail Mary scenario, this is not an investable fight for me, or investable fighters right now.
I would agree with you. I think Gilbert Burns made his people a lot of money. If you invested in him some time ago, he would definitely be the guy I'd want, because you've got Masvidal, who's now, 38 years old. He's knocking on the door. He's already dropped the R word. He said he might retire if he doesn't get this win. And really, it's just going to be, maybe one final crack at the belt if Colby Covington is the champion. The UFC is trying to set that up. But 38-year-old Masvidal isn't sticking around all that much longer. I wouldn't invest in him at all, frankly. You're going to get a much better shot on him on just a regular money line on Saturday. And then again, we're talking about a hang him up, dead number type of fighter on Prediction Strike. Gilbert Burns or nothing. Too expensive for my blood. I'm going to pass on this one.
Same.
All right. It is main event time, everybody. Do us a favor. If you haven't already, hit the like button. Thank you for being with us here. Make sure you follow my guy, David Jackson, on socials, as well as Prediction Strike. Make sure you follow them on all the social media as well. And let's get into this final fight. We have got Alex Pereira, the current seeded champion, at $3.54, defending his title for the first time against Israel Adesanya, the former champion, $4.28. And again, we're talking about these big time numbers, man. We've already got these guys who are seeded champions. It's hard to invest at this point because the number just can't go that much higher, but we might as well talk about the fight. What do you think about this one? Who do you think's winning?
Oh man, why you gotta hit me with the hard questions already? I think Israel wins this fight. I'll be honest with you. Because it's one of those fights where, who knows? Maybe 6 out of 10 times, maybe Izzy wins that fight. We're at 4 fights now, or 3 fights already to Pereira. I think this is gonna be his number. I think this is gonna be that weird fight where it's like you only get so many, dude. You only get so many against Israel Adesanya, and I think he is going to come back, and I think he's going to come back sharp and strong and making a statement, which unfortunately, I mean, the investment value, I think, is still over with Alex being, sub $4. There's a little room for growth there. If he's able to retain the championship, that goes up a little bit. But, with Israel under $5, technically there's room for growth there. If he retains, starts defending again, that's going to go over 5, I believe. So there's a value either way. I'm feeling strong about Israel Adesanya, so I think that would have to be my investable choice if I had to invest in that this weekend.
Well, man, I hate to say, but we agree on the main event for UFC 287. I like Israel Adesanya too. I think he's getting his belt back on Saturday, man. I think that he's going to be the one who's going to be able to make the tweaks and adjustments in his game. We haven't seen much of that from Alex Pereira. He's older. He's new to the sport. Israel Adesanya's got a couple years on him. I think he'll be the one who can kind of go back to the drawing board and make those adjustments and come back and get the win. But I do think we're in for a trilogy, so we might be talking about this one again, down the road if he gets his belt back. And it's 1-1.
Oh my God, that would be 5 fights between them total.
But I mean, they got to though, right? Like if it's 1-1 in the UFC, they just took the belt from each other. They got to run it back one more time, don't they?
Yeah, well, especially I think if they fight, Alex loses, and if he puts together a 2-fight win streak, I think he's right back there. I mean,
Yeah.
it's that tough of a division. So yeah, I could definitely see that happening. It's just crazy to say out loud.
It is. It's pretty wild, man. Seeing these guys fight 5 times would be a treat, though. It's fun. If they line these guys up once a year for the rest of their careers, I'd be okay with it.
What do you call that fight? Is it a syncotology?
That's
I
a
don't
great
know.
question. Never a number I've ever tried to say out loud, so I don't think I'm even going to bother.
I don't know. But excited to watch the fight. Yeah, it's hard to invest really a lot in either, but definitely a little value there in Israel Adesanya. But I'm just excited to sit back and watch this thing go down.
Definitely would agree. All right, my man. That's the full card UFC 287. Once again, this has been the Fight Exchange presented to you by Prediction Strike. My guy, thank you, David, for joining me to talk about this fight. Is there anything you want people know before we shut it down?
Same as always. Whatever new listeners, older listeners, tell your friends there is a new way to get involved in sports, and it's investing. And it's not all or nothing anymore, guys. You don't have to risk your house anymore. You can look at guys' trajectories, long-term careers, and have fun with it. So go ahead and get on Prediction Strike. Get your friends on Prediction Strike. It is a lot of fun, and you can make
That's
money.
right. That's right. Promo code FE. Join us. Come hang out. Play some stocks. Hope you all have a wonderful week. And until next time, we will see you 2 weeks. 2 weeks. We'll be back bi-weekly for the next episode of the Fight Exchange. Good luck out there, everybody. Have a great week.